Mr. Ghosh, good
Good
evening.
afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
So we start in just 5 minutes,
Yeah, in 5 minutes we'll start.
and
Uh,
I have to give a short introduction about you.
it
Then it'll be
seems
over to you.
it was anyway. ठीक है.
Hmm.
Uh, by the way, I sent you a mail with
I saw that mail.
comment. Yeah,
I will need
information.
to discuss that.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Nishant is calling. Let me mute.
Yeah, yes. हाँ रीना जी, हेलो.
We are just 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, correct, sir.
Very good afternoon, Somnath ji.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, very good.
I think we're just a minute away. When Professor Sigdar is ready, we can just get started.
Some participants are joining, and let us have a critical mass, and then we start. Maybe we can wait for a couple of minutes.
Because
we-
already live, 31
Yeah.
participants are there.
Yeah.
Just let me know, then I'll do the introduction.
So we can start.
Okay, Kosha, we can start.
Right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Somnath Ghosh, and I'm to introduce the main theme manager, Professor Sigdar. Today we have continuing with the webinar series that IRF India chapter has been holding. Today we have a webinar on the title Availability of Quality Construction Equipment for Quality Roads and Bridges. This is going to be moderated by Professor Sigdar. Professor Sigdar is a very eminent technology professional, highly decorated. He is a fellow of the Institute of Engineers, FIEI, FCILT, and also FNAE. He is the advisor of the International Road Federation India chapter, while he is also the president of ICT Private Limited. Professor Sigdar is former professor of civil engineering and dean at Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Dr. Sigdar is also former director of Central Road Research Institute, CRRI, of the CSIR system, CRI, New Delhi. Over to Professor Sigdar.
Thank you, Mr. Ghosh, for the very nice introduction that you did for me. As Mr. Ghosh has already mentioned, IRF did a lot of webinars in the past, and this year also, this financial year, this is the first webinar. Now, we chose the themes of the webinar rather falling in line with the seminar or rather the conference that we did in February, March. Now, what happened because of the lot of speakers, there were very little time for the speakers to expand on the total idea of the topics. And we thought we will give a better chance to all the people, professionals, to know more about these aspects, which are valuable for countries' infrastructure development. Now, in that context, we kept the title of this first seminar of this financial year is Availability of Quality Construction Equipment for Quality Roads and Bridges. Now, obviously, those who are above 50, like me, in the audience, as well as my colleagues here, speaking today, would very well remember about the condition of Indian roads, even in 1990s. The best speed at which you could travel on a best of the road is about 60 kilometers per hour, or something like that. The next 30 years have changed everything by mechanized construction, and that is where the role of these construction equipment lies, which we are going to talk about today. And that's the kind of purpose of this webinar, where we would like to deal with this in much more detail through experts in this field. Today, high-speed corridors are being built for the next 50 years because these must not get congested in near future. And these are also being constructed with significant value engineering at the design stage itself, even with sometimes perpetual pavement. That means very specialized pavement structure and many other such features. How do you build these without appropriate construction equipment? for every activity in the construction, especially, say, compaction equipment for those specialized layers, as well as long life that is required for various elements of the infrastructure. There are porous pavements to ensure drainage that need specialized equipment for that purpose. And such many other aspects are there, components of the roads which needs special treatment at the time of construction itself to finish them so that we can use them in 100+ kilometers per hour speed. And that's the beauty of these construction equipment, which gives us in this. Now, in these 25-30 years, I mean, before these 25-30 years, nobody imagined that today we'll have GPS guided, beam guided construction equipment with artificial intelligence in the core of its operating process. Who knew? Who knew that equipment will do things itself? You don't have to operate it like Belcha and other things, the way we used to do things. Now, during the recent conference, which I just mentioned, in the end of February and 1st March this year, we heard many experts who were saying that there are equipments where the operator is just an observer and the machine does its work as per the data already fed from BIM. So like that, I mean, today, innovative, intelligent construction equipment with lower carbon emissions and greater fuel efficiency, even alternate fuels. There are equipments which run on electric power. And with, of course, the IoT and other IT sensors, devices, cameras, particularly for providing advanced driver or operator assistance system. So that, I mean, you get the best product out of that construction. That is the ultimate objective. And these are the modern equipments of today. The big players of construction equipment manufacturing like Sakai, JCB, Terex, Aman, and any others like them have completely changed the horizon of construction equipment in every possible ways. Similarly, Sera, by making all such equipment available everywhere for construction companies, and companies like TransAsia Techno Group actually using such equipment in actual construction projects of any level, whether it is national highway, expressway, or rural roads. They have changed the construction industry profile, making every type of construction possible at the nooks and corners of the country. I mean, that's the beauty of the system which has developed today. We are going to hear from these three very renowned and highly experienced professionals of construction industry who will tell us today about the developments we have already achieved and all the future possibilities about how we are going to make our construction industry a clean and climate resilient venture of our country's pride towards this Vikashit Bharat. That's what our Prime Minister's message, that we want to be Vikashit Bharat by 47. And that's what probably we will, the pace at which we are moving. And today we are going to hear a lot about that from our three speakers. And I will introduce these three speakers as I invite them to make the presentation. The first presentation is from Mr. Satin Sachdeva, Secretary, Construction Equipment Rental Association, the founder of Sera, and also its current Secretary General, India's largest equipment rental association and a dynamic entrepreneur who has set the industry ablaze with his modern ideas, dynamism, keen foresight, and impeccable leadership skills, intellect, and futuristic vision. Mr. Sachdeva is celebrating nearly 3 decades of successful journey in the industry, rendering excellent services to the nation in building infrastructure and generating employment, obviously. He is the pioneer of seeding the thought of organizing the equipment rental industry, which I just mentioned a couple of minutes back. We never imagined that equipment will be available anywhere and everywhere the way it is today to build all these beautiful networks. And his vision, creating a sustaining and conducive environment for the growth of the industry. He has noted the strong relationship between the construction equipment manufacturing as well as rental industry, financiers, and also the construction companies. And obviously, that will take us to be the leader in kind of global platform. With these words, I invite Mr. Sachdeva to make his presentation, please. Mr. Sachdeva. You can share your slides.
Thanks. Yeah, sure, in some time. Thank you so much for such humble invite. And if it is coming from Professor B.K. Sikdar Saab, thank you so much for such humble invite. Thanks, IRF, International Road Federation, India chapter. And thanks to Mr. Kapila Saab, Harpal Singh ji, Nirmal ji, Akhilesh Srivastava ji, and all the other dignitaries and my co-panelists. And we're gonna have a wonderful session today. It's a great day. So thrilled to welcome you all today's webinar hosted by IRF India chapter, which is working religiously for the welfare of roads, safety, and many other verticals, so that goes for a good round of applause. Then before we dive into the exciting content we have lined up for you today, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude towards the audience and each one of you for joining. It will be an exciting session for sure. And today webinar, as the subject says, that it is all about quality equipments. So it is certainly needed. Now we are world's #2 country to be for having such a great highway network. So I think quality equipment is needed for sure. And as Sikdar already elaborated about, he talked about electric vehicles, this thing, and then he also talked about biofuels, which is coming up in a big way. Our Honorable Minister Gadkari Saab always, they talk about biofuels, they talk about ethanol, all these alternate fuels is a new bang, in the industry. And then I guarantee you will walk away with the valuable insights, whether you are a seasoned professional or you're just starting, you'll have many takeaways from this session. Already the introduction has been done. I'm Satyen Sachdeva from Construction Equipment Rental Association of India. We're going to talk about the regulations, some of the equipment. When we talk about equipment, it's not just about road equipment. SERA is all about road equipments, building equipments. Then we have the entire line of mining equipments, piling equipments. Material lifting segment is also a big part of SERA. We have a lot of members who own a lot of these crawler cranes, piling equipments. And when we talk about roads, it's not just about normal equipments like graders, like for compaction, compactors are there. There are a lot of other equipments, like we are coming up with the stabilization part of it. Recycling is a big buzz in the town nowadays. So rental equipment fraternity, they own all these equipments upfront. So rental is really whopping at this time, and it is increasing in numbers. Rental penetration now is more than 40 to 50%, which was earlier only 5 to 10%, 6-7 years back. Mr. Sikdar Saab, everybody, Surpose Saab, everybody knows about it. So this rental industry is now booming big time, and in some segments like crawler cranes, hydraulic cranes, piling equipments, the penetration is even more than 60 to 70%. So all these rental companies are buying equipment from the OEM, and therefore they're giving it on rent or lease or whatever models they have, like wet lease or a dry lease model. So rental is actually taking a shape in India. So I'm gonna share a slide, the present. I'll just be sharing the screen. I
Okay,
hope
Mr.
it is visible.
Sachdeva, you will have total of 15 minutes.
Okay.
for
Yeah,
this.
just a brief small presentation. Yeah, not much of it. Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, something about just a little brief about SERA again. The Construction Equipment Rental Association is a non-profit organization that represents the interest of equipment rental companies in the construction industry. SERA members are primarily rental companies that offer a variety of equipment for rent to construction companies and contractors, including earth-moving equipment, aerial lift, forklift, and other heavy equipments. SERA was formed in 2016. SERA represents India's equipment rental industry nationally and globally and is recognized worldwide. SERA has created awareness for transformation, standardization, and further diversification. This has really helped rental companies to grow. SERA has been inducted as a member of GRA, Global Rental Alliance. Only 8 countries are member of GRA. So the mission is to promote the equipment rental concept in India and further in order to facilitate a continued growth of the rental industry by creating an open Indian market at a much larger scale than any state market, to build strong relationships between construction equipment rental industry, manufacturers. Certainly the manufacturers are the parent organizations, and then construction companies. And when we talk about construction companies, it is all about mid-cap, small-cap, petty contractors, and those big corporates like L&T, Tata Projects, FCons, and all other. Finances certainly is another big stakeholders, and we are working together for mutual benefits. Another mission is to transform the equipment rental industry into an organized sector with international best practices, which was initially lacking, but now things are taking shape. And we are also working on standardization and legal regulatory framework for a win-win kind of a position. So the perspective is that we strongly believe that partnership and cooperation between industry, government, and civil society. So it is certainly important. Like as now we are working with IRF, we are with PhD Council and all other government agencies. So that's the key to infrastructure, economic, and social development of India. Equipment rental industry certainly is the backbone of the infrastructure development of India. Without equipment, it is hard to imagine such massive growth. And when we talk about such a growth, rental companies are a big part of it. SERA is growing in strength and has become a name among the rental companies with finances and other stakeholders, not only across India, but also internationally. SERA provides its members with a range of resources and services, including industry data and analysis, networking opportunities. So we do a lot of seminars, conferences, trainings, and education programs. This is again, I just don't want to repeat it again. This is all about material handling, road construction, concrete, and material processing equipments. SERA is now a key stakeholder in the infrastructure industry. SERA is the real voice of equipment rental industry of India, and which really represent the rental industry across the nation and the globe. SERA is working closely with all the associations of other countries. We are working very closely with European Rental Association, American Rental Association, and other countries. And we'll soon be doing the training exchange program and best practices conference with them. We are now training mechanical staff and operators, which was further lacking. There are still a long way to go. There are a lot of certification issues. There are a lot of regulatory issues are there. But then I think it will take some time, but things will be taking shape for sure with manufacturers at various sites and facilities. Government has also acknowledged SERA's suggestion on GST and asked, it was, I think, way back, 4 years back. So it has already been done. So we organized at that time NATCO National Convention. SERA state chapters are also there. We are a national organization. So I think Sikdar have already, elaborated about the growing investment in infrastructure. There is no doubt about it that it is taking a real shape. The construction equipment rental market is growing in numbers. The road construction machinery precisely has witnessed significant growth in the recent past, owing to the increased road development programs undertaken by central and state government. For short-term construction application, renting a machinery has been preferable than a purchase among construction this thing. So when we talk about the association, so it has to do some sort of welfare. We do have some challenges like late recoveries of payment is a major issue which is coming up. So somewhere, some authority, some legality has to be there. Some standardization is needed to take it forward. So SERA is also working on rental calculator. We have already launched one calculator. India has a significant potential in the construction equipment rental industry. Let's all the stakeholders work together and take the things forward. I think I have some 4 minutes left. Sir, Sikdar
yeah.
Saab,
Yes,
if you allow.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. And then as Sikdar Saab was talking about compaction and recycling processes, certainly rental companies are ready to get you all these machines readily available on a rental basis or a leasing kind of a thing. We can also work out some other models. That's not a problem. But the machines, this is a highly capital intensive business. Owning a machine, I mean, even a single machine is costing, even a JCB, small JCB is costing around 35 lakhs if we owe them. So better to take it on rent. Rental certainly has big advantages. So we are working more on that. We are creating more awareness. Then the future of rental is certainly the best. I mean, I think if the penetration is more than 50%, that says that if OEM is selling their machines, 100 machines, so 50% of their machines, rental companies are buying. And we are everywhere. I mean, in India, across everywhere we are. So we are looking forward to more collaborations. We are looking forward for more growth, and we are aiming at 70 to 80% of rental penetration in India, maybe in the coming 2 to 3 years time. I mean, this is the time for India. Let us together make an impact. If you have any questions, because we have a wonderful audience with us, anything, whatever you want to ask, you can write it down in your chat box, and we'll certainly be reverting you back with the right answers. Thank you so much, Sikdar Saab, IRF,
Great.
for giving me a time. It's really an honor
Thank you.
and a privilege to be with you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. You can stop sharing now,
Yeah.
so that next person can do that. Yeah. Our next presenter, I mean, what we thought for the audience, I'm going to say that the questions that you may have to Mr. Sachdeva as well as others, next speaker, you can put it in your chat box briefly, and so that we can take up those collectively for each of the speaker. And then at that time, if there are more times available, then we probably will give you the chance to ask directly. But at the moment, put it in the chat box. Our next speaker is Mr. Subrata Das, who is actually the advisor to PMDS, PMDCS. And as I'm told, he is also professor of practice in MIT, Pune, which is World Peace University, WPU. And he has a long experience of 3 decades, more than 3 decades in construction management and project execution. With background of civil engineering, like my background is also civil engineering. He did it from Jalpaiguri Government Engineering College. Mr. Das has held key roles at prominent organizations like L&T, HCC, JP Group, Punj Lloyd, and several others. He is renowned for his expertise in method engineering, mechanized construction, equipment selection, quality perspective, as well as resource optimization, which actually leads to significant cost savings and improved project outcomes with the productivity, quality, and as well as safety aspects of each of these projects. His commitment to skill development and industry advancement, demonstrated through partnerships with Skill India and affiliation with prestigious institutions, underscores his status as a thought leader. And that's why I'm sure he is the professor of practice in MIT, Pune. Well, over to Mr. Subrata Das, please.
Thank you, Professor Sigdar, for this nice description about me. And my screen is visible, I think.
Yeah, it is visible. You have 15 minutes.
Okay, fine. I'll complete before that. Thank you, Professor Sigdar, for so nice introduction about me. And then, although I haven't worked that much that much of my work experience in the road sector, though infrastructure I've worked, and especially in very large infrastructure structures. And I've been associated with all construction companies who were once upon a time, and even today, are the major user of the construction equipment, and then very high capex those equipments are. And I have been involved with the decision-making process of the companies, from giving requirement to getting involved in the what kind of equipment required, what other things. And in early stage of our career, we never knew. We simply we want an excavator, we want this machine, we want a road roller, we want a crane like that. Yeah, is it okay? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir, you are
Okay,
audible.
fine.
You are
Fine, thank
audible,
you.
but your screen is not moved yet.
Yeah, it'll move now. It'll move now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so since I was into those decision-making process, so I thought of since this is my first invitation in the International Road Federation India Chapter webinar series, so I thought of bringing with me the decision-making process from a contractor's perspective. Because whatever said and done, whatever we do, ultimately the job is going to be done by the contractor, and it's a very tough process within the organization, within the contracting company, to manage things and to decide. So let me go with. I've got a couple of few slides which will tell about what do a contractor see, because that's one of the most important thing, and a little bit of wrong decision, the contractor has to pay, the project has to pay it in the long run. Anyway, so what do we see, and why we need to be evaluating things, because we need to have some criteria, and these are basically the efficiency, quality, profitability, and timely completion. These are the major four areas which we look around for while hiring any equipment. Although it's a competition market, there are more than couple of brands always for any product. Monopoly is not there, I suppose. So, but then every two equipment have to be evaluated on the basis of efficiency and then quality, profitability, and time of completion. Now, I'll delve into the other aspects. Now, what are the things we consider? We consider what is the scale of the work, what is the functional requirement, the machine which is suitable maybe in Jaisalmer will not be perhaps fit for some Jojila tunnel, Jojila pass. Maybe there'll be issues. So then function duration of what is my duration, what is the surety that I'll get business, maybe the time modality will change, and the location of the work and environmental conditions. So these are a few of the things which we do consider and analyze. And the evaluation goes as per the performance, what is the productivity, what is the efficiency kind of a thing, reliability, like available time, 75 or 80, on what is the downtime, because that eats up everything. And we have experiences of very bad experience when we have a wrong evaluation on availability, and unclear thing about the downtime. So it cannot be 100%. Okay, 75%, 75 to 80% is okay, but that shall be sure. And then downtime, then maintenance, service, how the maintenance things are available, how service network, how is the spare availability, spare consumption. Although there are different constraints with the spare stockist. He's not sure of the market. She is not sure of the sales, but he has to invest. So kind of a lot of things are there, but still this sort of thing are to be assessed, and these are generally assessed, and then support. What kind of technical support I'll be getting from the particular brand, a particular dealer, and kind of that. People these days look for GPS, as Professor Sikdar was also telling. So these are the added advantage, but at the same time, people will go only when it will prove beneficial. BIM and all these are still not accepted in construction as a very easy. It's not an easy sale, but if it's inbuilt in equipment, then okay, they don't have any alternative. Which many of the import companies, they started long back, some 15 years back, they have started. And we do cost benefit analysis, and that's like what if we purchase? Is it for long term or leasing or renting? Is it a short term benefit? Then return on investment and total acquisition cost, and then total cost of owning it, depreciation, maintenance, operational cost. So these all are very complex, and these all need to be analyzed, and these are analyzed while deciding on what equipment, what will be the basis, which brand will be purchased, and all. Of course, equipment safety standard and the environmental safety and environmental standard, and of course, this is the manufacturer's responsibility, and most of the companies, they are complying with that because international brands are very much concerned with that. And then, so another factor which comes into role is supplier evaluation, like how is its reputation, comprehensive support services, favorable warranty terms, supply relationships in terms of equipment reliability and service availability. So these are also the things which we look at around. And in conclusion, I'd say efficient equipment selection is key to successful project execution on road and bridge construction as well. Making informed decision on equipment can lead to project success, cost savings, and improved operational efficiency. Now, in the concluding, what I especially want to say is, like when people go to construction companies with their own brand or own product, they shall categorically go with all this kind of a thing. Then it's really easier for the decision maker in the construction company to finalize the deal. Means he will definitely look for this, but if these are given in very first day, it's good. If these are not given in the first day, then the decision-making process takes time, because one level will skip, the another will not. And this much. And if you have any questions regarding from contractor's perspective, you can reach me at the contact address given. And if you have any questions regarding the contractor's perspective of equipment owning, leasing, renting, purchasing, so you can please reach. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Das. It was very interesting and very good information that you have provided. We have a third speaker, but he has not joined yet. I have been trying to contact him. It seems is not reachable yet. But in any case, what you can do, we can take questions from these two speakers at the moment till he joins. He is likely to join any time, and then we'll go to his presentation. But at the moment, audience is requested to put the questions. Now, at the moment, as I see in Q&A in the chat box, there is no question put in. So if you can identify yourself and ask questions, the audience may be allowed. Nishant, you may please allow
Yes,
the
sir.
audience to unmute if they want to ask a question. So anyone in the audience wants to ask any question? I don't see any question in the Q&A or in chat yet. So if you want to ask question directly, please do so.
कुछ लोगों ने पूछा भी हुआ है।
But please identify yourself when you ask the question.
पहले से ही कॉल किया।
Anyone
क्या हुआ?
who wants to ask any questions? We are waiting for Mr. Meghdud.
बोलना अलाउड नहीं होता कभी भी। Q&A मतलब क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर यही होंगे।
We are waiting for Mr. Guha, Meghdud Guha, and till that time you can ask few questions.
Also, if question is not there, we can have a little panel discussion kind of a thing, whatever,
yeah.
if you suggest so that we can talk on artificial intelligence. We sir just talked about this telematics, IoT. So it should come as a standard fitment in the construction equipment.
Yeah.
Whenever any OEM is selling any equipment, it should come as a standard fitment. This is what our submission
There
is to all the
There is
OEMs.
one question received in the question answer box, and that is how to select or
Selection
how do
of
we
equipment,
select
yeah.
equipment for small project. Small project, how do we select equipment? I mean, Mr. Subrata Das may be able to give answer first, and then I'll request Mr. Sachdeva to add.
Yeah, thank you. So by small project or a big project, we have to see the scale and we have to know what kind of a project, what is the volume of the work need to be done, and what is the duration. So if the question is little more specific, then the answer can be given. But generally speaking, if it is a small project and if the duration is not that much, the rental option is sometimes taken as a better option. But that too also depending on the provision, depending on the budgetary allocation of the contracting company. So, and these are very specific subject. These are very specific and techno-financial decision. So, saying anything of a vague, it will be quite a vague. I'd be happy if the question is specific to some kind of a quantity, some kind of a
Nature of
duration,
project,
at
etc.
least these two
Yeah.
parameters.
Yeah. Okay, Sachdeva has to add, if anything you have to add on this question.
See, as Subrataji rightly said, it has to be a specific question, but it is fine. I mean, if it is a small project, any of the building or road, say considering it as a small road project, it depends on the cash flows. It depends. I mean, the rental is an asset-light model, so better. It is always preferable to go for asset-light. If the project is for a shorter duration, you must always be opt for equipment rental. And when we talk about small project, I mean, bare minimum, you need some sort of backhoe loader, excavator, and then some dumpers, paver, and then some sort of those rollers. This is required. So you can also buy some of the equipments and take some equipment on rent. It depends on your financial strength, how exactly you want to take it forward. But for sure, if the duration is less, you should always be try opt for rental, so that there'll be no burden on you. And but it's basically an asset light model which every company is performing. So I think this is
Okay.
all about this.
Thank you. There is other question from Mr. R.K. Pandey, who was former member in NHAI, now advisor to ministry. He has asked, we still feel that the surface finish is not as that of standard as expected, the road roughness finish. What are the plans for improving the finish quality of the surface? And also he has asked another questions. Are the equipment manufacturers planning to move towards digital construction, that is fitting the equipment with sensors which will collect all the requisite information? For example, this kind of surface finish itself, it should tell while compacting till it comes to that level, required level. It should not stop compacting or doing that leveling. So is there any answer to that, Mr. Subrata Das or Mr. Sachdeva at the moment? I mean, Mr. Guha would have been a right person to give answers to that. He has been handling a lot of these interesting equipments. So can any one of you
Yeah,
answer
sure.
these questions?
Yeah, Pandit sir, good to have you here, sir. If you really talk about surface finisher, it's again about quality equipment, and I think all the rental companies and other even contractors, the trend is like everybody is buying new equipment nowadays. As a lot of agencies, they are not permitting old equipments anymore, so they want the equipment to be in a span of 3 to 4 year old, and nothing more than that. So a lot of rental companies like us, we are buying new equipments and giving it on rent. And when we have the right quality equipment, like we have German equipments, we have Chinese equipment, so Pandisab is readily available, and you're aware of the quality of all the equipments. So if it is a new equipment, we can always give a best quality possible. And if it's a really old material and it is not really maintained well, so there'll be always be finishing issues and something like that. So we are also be opting nowadays for brand new equipments. We're trying our level best to get you the right equipment with the right maintenance and with the right skilled operator. That is also needed. Skilled labor is a need of our. I think together with all those stakeholders, we have to work really hard in terms of training of operators. And if we can have the right skilled operator with the right quality machine, I think that will be giving the right finish quality and everything. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Now there is another question from Mr. Robert Bruce Leishangam. What is his name? Just a moment. Robert Bruce Leishangthem. Is there any pro data for selection of equipment for any project? Something formulated on this or not? Now, this is the question for Mr. Das, where he has already mentioned that selection criteria for equipment is efficiency, quality, profitability, and timely completion, possible or not with that equipment. These criteria, and he has further elaborated on that evaluation of equipment, how to evaluate the equipment for the job which is to be done. So, anything to be added, Mr. Das, on this question?
Yes, I take the question. And is there any pro data for selection of equipment? Now, there are data sets are there with the companies, and those who deal with, of multiple brands and multiple manufacturers. They have their own, and based on that, the selection process becomes fast. But it is also not known to me, to be very frank, that pro data kind of a thing still exists at the national level or not. I'm not sure of. But
Okay.
companies, they do have.
Okay. All right. Then Dr. Rakesh Kumar has mentioned, is any laser-based concrete paver available? Mr. Sachdeva can answer this question. You are muted. You are muted.
Yeah, yeah. What paver he is asking for? Is
He's
any
saying
laser-based?
laser-based concrete paver available.
See, concrete pavers are available, and that is precisely PQC slip form pavers are available. These are
Yeah.
like sensor pavers only, slip form
Yes.
pavers. These are, yes, readily available, along with the dowel bar inserter and without dowel bar inserter. And if you also want texturing and curing machine along, that is also available. So in the market, there are few companies like us who own these equipments. Yes, but we need to understand the thickness and width of the road and all those stuff. So I think it will take some time to decide which equipment is suitable for the particular project, but it is available.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, next question, as I see in the Q&A, is from Mr. Avijit Jichkar. Machine hiring rates provided in standard data book is given in the year 2019. In order to estimate the rate of any item, the escalation at the rate of certain percentage is required to be added for such machinery's rate. It would be appropriate and helpful if the updated rates are circulated every year. Obviously, that will be those people who have made the standard data book, they have to update it. And then only it will be possible. Otherwise, states, rate list, that will contain probably all these things. Yeah. Do you find any issue on that? Or
Yes.
they are simply possible? It is easy to calculate. Mr. Das, this is a WPI based kind of increase is considered.
Sir, actually, for analysis of rate, because I do costing, bidding, and all this kind of a thing. So, for analysis of rate, we shall not actually depend on these rate books. We must talk to the manufacturer or the
Yeah.
renting organization, get it signed. Otherwise, these rates are of no meaning. This do not work.
Yeah. Okay. Then next question is Dr. Makendran. Do you have any quality check lists available for bridge inspection? Bridge inspection equipment is probably talking about the equipment. Now he's saying, is there any quality checklist? What all quality must be checked? Of course, the question itself is not adequately explaining. So that I don't know whether you will be able to answer or not, Mr. Das.
Sir, this is I'm not sure, but then we have to go by the codes and prepare. We have to go by the code. We have to go by the information to bidder and the specification. Based on the specification, we have to prepare quality checklist for every bridge. It is not, I think, not same, not standard for anything. These are available in the codes and the design specification. Because material standard of one bridge will be different to the other, the load criteria, so and the inspection criteria, everything will be different. So checklists are based on the specification of the tender. Otherwise, and there are many books, but then books don't hold good. The specification with which the designer designed that particular bridge holds good, because these are very customized and specific kind of a thing, not generalized. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Then the next question is from Mr. R. Venkateshwarulu. Sir, in tunnel works, is there any QC equipment, quality control equipment to directly measure RMR value for finalizing support system? Is any of you can answer this? I am not aware of these things, so obviously I can't add anything on that.
Not really aware of this precisely. For what
Mr.
is
Das,
this
are you?
Yes. Yes, I have good tunneling experience. I haven't
Okay.
heard of. I've made very large number of tunnels and caverns all over India and abroad. But then this RMR is a thing which is to be calculated based on the tunnel phase geological mapping. So software is there, of course, software is there, but face mapping has to be done. Face mapping has to be measured, has to be done. Based on face mapping only, this RMR is calculated.
Okay.
I don't have any idea about the equipment.
Right. Now, next question is Mr. from S. Singh. Please give information about the equipments which use technologies like robotics, AI/ML, image processing, how we can accrue them. I mean, this is to Mr. Sachdeva.
Yeah. I don't know much about robotics and image processing, but yes, artificial intelligence and machine learning is really taking shape in terms of GPS, geofencing, and then majorly fuel management is needed, which is there uh, uh, with laser also. It is readily available. There are a lot of companies, foreign companies, which has come up in India big time, and they have all these available in the secondary market also, though it has to come from the OEMs. But due to price sensitivity, because we are a very price sensitive country and we always want to buy a cheaper machine. So all this will take some more time. But then real-time monitoring is readily available. This GPS thing is a very basic thing now. Fuel management, and then we have the best of the ERP and CRM available. All these things are readily available with or without sensors, with some camera photographers. All these things are available in the market. So anytime you can connect with me, and I'll get you connect with these good companies, which is already there in the secondary market. And we can also go to OEMs for the requirement. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Mr.
you.
Singh.
Then next question is Mr. Ganpat Singh,
Hmm.
and he has asked, generally road paver is not giving the proper thickness after the road completion. The paver obviously doesn't give the thickness.
Yeah, the
Its
material.
purpose is different. Its purpose is, I mean, you have to go to GPR or such other non-destructive testing methods by which you can find out thickness. Now, any of you want to answer anything? I mean, what I knew, I gave that point, but anything else you want to say?
Sure. There are a lot of categories. The one is a mechanical manual paver, then comes the sensor paver, then comes the flip form paver. So it depends. It has to be a little specific that what exactly is he looking for, Mr. Ganpat Singh. So what exactly you are looking for? Giving proper thickness. No, we give thickness with all our pavers. We have mechanical, we have sensor pavers. All those pavers are available. Even the thickness, whatever it is, 70 mm, 100, 200 mm, even up to 300 mm, we are doing concrete with our concrete pavers. So once we define them, it depends about the proper the pure category and who is the OEM. It depends, but then thickness we can give. There is not an issue for any thickness issue. There is no error as such. Thank you.
At the moment, I don't see any other question. Now, let me ring Mr. Guha again. Mr. Guha is not reachable. Now, by any chance, has he joined, Mr. Guha? Mr. Meghdud Guha, are you there?
He's not here, Mr.
He
Sikdar.
doesn't seem to be there.
We
Yeah.
can't see him here. Yeah.
We can't see him here. But anyway, is there any other question? I didn't see any more question, and chat box also doesn't have any other question at the moment. Now, Mr. Ghosh or Mr. Arunaji, Mr. Guha is not there. So should we conclude it?
Please speak.
Sir, I think since all the questions have been taken up,
Yeah.
I think you might like to summarize because he's
Okay.
not reachable actually. We've been trying to connect with him. Probably he's caught
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah,
I think
he's
we should,
caught up
you should
somewhere.
just summarize and close this webinar.
Yeah, I have also tried a couple of times, and obviously I couldn't reach him. Now, we had two very interesting presentations. The first one from Mr. Satyen Sachdeva. He gave the complete background of SERA and obviously emphasizing the role and responsibility of SERA, the way it should work, and it's trying to standardize the details, and they cover all types of equipments, not only the road construction equipments, every other construction equipments are also considered by them. They are part of the Global Alliance, and of course, in this presentation, obviously, he tried to give little extra importance to the road construction equipment. I mean, he said that any of these equipments, giving an example of JCB, a small JCB can cost 35 lakhs, and it may be too much for small contractor to buy all the equipments that he needs for a construction project. And therefore, renting is probably the best way to go by. And that's a win-win situation for him as well as the renting organization. And as he gave an example, 50% of the equipment sold by OEMs are only to the renting agencies. And that's how the modern thinking about the construction goes on. Well, Subrata Das has gave a very interesting perspective of the construction, the way the equipments are selected, and the depends on scale of work and what type of work. What is the scale of work, its profitability, reliability, the maintenance requirements, all aspects are duly vetted, and accordingly it is selected for the specific kind of construction activity. People obviously ask for the GPS, IoT, automation, etc., but these are not necessarily available in all equipments, and obviously the skill development is required for operating such equipment as well. Obviously, in every case, a cost-benefit, detailed cost-benefit analysis is gone through before kind of selecting the equipments to be used, and then only these are deployed so that profitability is maintained, and obviously the purpose of completion of the task or the work, construction work in time, all that are met accurately, so that it's, as I said, it's win-win for everyone. And that's how selection goes by. And he said that obviously the machines are always, I mean, complying to the country's standards, and it complies with the safety standards as well as other emission standards and whatnot. So that way they are all fine in that context. But only thing is that they are to be selected appropriately to suit the need of the construction and obviously the project's profitability. And that's how it is. So these were presentations, and these presentations will be available in the IRF India chapter's website, those who want to refer back to these at different times to understand these topics better. Now, our next webinar will be on 16th of May. 16th of May, and as you can see the slide shared here, is on smart and intelligent equipment for modern and top quality infrastructure development. Again, another webinar on equipment only, because our infrastructure is growing at very fast pace, and you know the budget allocation for infrastructure is huge, and therefore we need more smart equipment, intelligent equipment, which will deliver better quality and faster delivery. So on that account, we selected a topic which will be dealt with again by construction giant or equipment manufacturers will be handling this webinar. And I'm sure you all would like to know more about these advanced equipments, which are in the top order today in construction industry, particularly the construction giants. So with these words, I thank very much the two speakers who made a excellent presentation, and my best wishes to both of them in every possible way. And thank you so much from the IRF India chapter for coming and offering to make these presentations today in this webinar. Thank you so much. And we will request Mr. Guha to join us probably at some other time, must be caught up somewhere. So we are very sorry that that presentation could not be made today. Thank you so much. We close this webinar from here. Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you, sir.